I'm going to continue talking about the Diamond Sutra. I'm very excited. Today, we'll use the case from the Blue Cliff Record collection of stories of our Zen family. Case number 97. The Diamond Sutras, the transgression is wiped out. I'll start with the main subject, and then I'll come back to the introduction afterwards. Main subject. The Diamond Sutra says, if anyone is despised by others, even if they had committed some serious transgression in a former life and been doomed to fall into the evil world, the transgression in the former life is wholly wiped out by virtue of the fact that they are despised in this life. Let's read it again. The Diamond Sutra says, if anyone is despised by others, even if they've committed some serious transgression in a former life and been doomed to fall into the evil world, the transgression in the former life is wholly wiped out by virtue of the fact that they are despised in this life. So this is our puzzle, aka koan. A koan's not meant to be easily answered. The only way to answer is to make it our own. Well, if you feel puzzled by this particular passage, maybe it appeals. Maybe it feels strange. Maybe it feels perfectly natural to you. Wherever you are in this, make it your own. Practice with it. Sit in silence with it, letting go of our own thoughts, of our own ideas of who we are. What do I know? That person over there, letting go of separation between me and you, and let it answer itself. It's the only way. As soon as we think from up here and try to work it out intellectually, it pushes you farther away. The only way is to work it out through your life. And we have some clues. First clue is, this is from the Diamond Sutra. We know this. We've been studying the Diamond Sutra. And the Diamond Sutra contains everything we need to know in Buddhist practice, Buddhist training. It teaches us over and over how to live our life in a way that's free, free from suffering, full of ease and peace. We just have to follow. The Diamond Sutra has a few major themes you might remember. No self. There's not this independently existing thing called me or you or really anything. The things we think of as fixed are actually made of non-fixed elements. And seeing both the thing we think is a thing and all of its components simultaneously, if that's a puzzle, this is truly seeing. So, seeing this stick as just a stick, did it spontaneously emerge as a stick? No stick. Stick. What do you think? No. It used to be a tree at some time. And in order for it to be a tree, it had to have sunshine, water, nutrients, had to have space to grow. It grew up at some time. Who knows what happened? Maybe the tree was cut. Maybe it fell. One of these sticks that I have was made from a tree that fell in the temple courtyard during a great storm. And the abbot wanted to share that tree with all kinds of people. So he had the whole tree made into these and gave them as gifts. Could be from there. But then someone took the tree and shaped it, made it into this kult or stick. So their hands are also part of this stick. And also the hands of everyone who's used it. This particular one is quite old, and when I use it, I feel the hands of all those who have used it before me, especially my teacher's teacher, whose hands used it the most. So every time I hold it, I feel his energy as well. And now mine. All of these things and more, I mean, you can just let your mind go crazy here, come together to make this one cult. So is this a thing that exists all by itself? No, it exists only due to all of the non-stick elements that went into making it. Well, that's our first clue from the Diamond Sutra. If we think that we're despised by others, if we are despised by others, what are all of the elements there? Is it one person over there despising this one person here? What about everything? What about their parents and their friends and my friends? What about the food that we ate there and the place that we live and the car that we drive and all the people we know? Is it possible to say there's one person here and one person here? Clues. Another main theme of the Diamond Sutra is emptiness, shunyata. Emptiness boils down to one thing. Basically what I just said. There is no me separate from you. There's no independently existing anything in the universe. And any ideas that we think, I exist over here, you exist over there, are mistaken. We all are here simultaneously, completely connected to each other. This clinging to an idea of me is what we call the ego. It's not ego in terms of the Western concept, but it's the me, the big me. I am so important. Me, and you are nothing over there. Small, small, small. This is ego. So, coming back to our puzzle. If anyone is despised by others, who are others? If anyone is despised by others, who are those so-called others? And what is to despise? If anyone is despised by others, even if they've committed some serious transgression in a former life and been doomed to fall into the evil world, The transgression in the former life is wholly wiped out by virtue of the fact that they are despised in this life. What former life? What transgression? Is there anyone here who has never committed a transgression? Or has never done something mean or even bad or even terrible? Is there anyone in the world who has never done anything mean or bad or even terrible? I doubt it. Really, I do. So here, in this present moment, all of us together, all of us who have each done things we're not proud of and been doomed to fall into the evil world. Where is this evil world? It's the hell that we made for ourselves by doing that thing, right? Remember, I shared with you my sister-in-law's way of sort of explaining karma in her Georgian way. She was talking about someone my mother went to high school with who had a double name. Her name was Mabel Helen, which is hard to say by any accounts. Even with a Southern accent where you just mush everything together, it's still hard to say Mabel Helen. So she saw the name and she said, now, she did that to her own self. She could have been Mabel, or she could have been Helen, but nope, she stayed with Mabel Helen. So I think of that a lot. What do we do to our own self? We made this hell for our own self by the ways that we were unskillful, or the ways that we thought, I am so important, or the ways we dismissed others. So this transgression, the serious transgression, which we all do, from this former life that caused us to fall into the hell created by our own self, can be wiped out. How? In this koan, by virtue of the fact that we are despised in this life. We are all together here. What is it to be despised in this life? Is there anyone here who has not been despised in this life? I would like to meet you if you exist. Do you see how there's nothing to grab here? Even this, there's nothing to hold. There's nothing for us to grab. You, that bad person over there. Oh, yeah, but I was that bad person one time. You, this good person over here. Oh, I could be that good person. Someone told me this week something beautiful. He felt distress about the state of the world right now. He's an elderly person. His body is weak and has trouble getting around, and he cares for someone at home. So he's quite busy caring for his wife who has dementia. You can imagine that's a lot. Nevertheless, he felt distressed at the state of the world for everyone, really. He has grandchildren, so I'm sure he was thinking about them, but not only them. So he made a decision. What was he going to do? It wasn't nothing. He didn't fall into a state of panic and say, oh my God, I can't do anything. What he did is he consciously decided, though he is not a religious person himself, he consciously decided he was going to pray for the Pope. I thought that was quite beautiful. And this is what he said. This is why. It's the why that's beautiful. He said, he takes care of the poor. He lives a life that's humble. He seems to be a deeply moral person. And we don't have enough of those right now. We need people like that in this world, alive for us to see. So I'm going to pray for him. It's not really that hard, is it? When we're open to find ways to help, to find ways to be together, to find positive benefit. Today we practiced metta practice, loving kindness practice, just before the lecture. This is a very pragmatic way to be of benefit right now. If you feel stuck and you don't know what to do about the state of the world, practice metta. It's not an idea. People feel it. You can shift the world around you by practicing loving kindness for everyone. The Metta Sutra, which we just chanted, starts off, this is what should be done. Do you want to know what you should do? There's a clue. This is what should be done. And then we get our maps. We have the teachings to help us. One of those teachings is the Diamond Sutra, which no matter how much we try to find something to grab, the Diamond Sutra divests us of the grabbiness that we ourselves create. I want to grab to this. Nope, not that. Oh, what about this? Nope, not that either. But I like this one. No, not that either. There is nothing to hold on to. And in this nothing to hold on to, this constantly shifting life, like a bubble, like a flash of lightning, a phantom, a dream, in this nothing to hold on to, constantly changing life, when we take a step back and see all of it, we find great peace. This great peace is what we can bring to the whole world. So what about those who despise us? Or perhaps those whom we despise? How can we walk through? We have to be, we have to let go of the idea of a self that's separate. We have to walk through with equanimity. In the teachings on the 8 worldly winds, we have these winds that buffet us around: praise and blame, fame and disrepute, pleasure and pain, gain and loss. This. They all like me. Everybody likes me right now. It's great. And then the next day, what happens? Or the next year, or the next 5 years, everybody hates me. If you've lived long enough to see this truth, which is if you've lived past age 3, then you know that it's going to change. And taking a step backwards and seeing the big picture, seeing the scope, can give us a sense of spaciousness, ease, calm. A preoccupation with me causes us suffering. So don't get stuck on what other people say. It's just words. Just blah, 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 blah. If I say that, does it hurt you? Blah, 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 blah. No, it's just a sound. So don't get stuck on what other people say. It will change. Find your way to move through this life in a way that's connected, not separated out, in a way that's not always being pulled back and forth, back and forth. And the map for how to do this is all here. We start with zazen. We sit. We let go. We let our body be in balance. And we let go of our thoughts. We let our breath settle into our lower belly. And from this settled place, of course, watching things arise and fall, we find perspective and scope and a great ease. I saw a couple of things in the last week or so that gave me a feeling of hope. One is somebody shared with me a podcast on telepathy. And to me, when I hear these ways that people communicate non-verbally, it doesn't sound weird at all. It just sounds like the Diamond Sutra. We are connected. So of course, when I wish you happiness, it spreads and you feel it. Of course, when we are all connected, what we do matters. But this is just basic common sense. In this podcast, the podcaster keeps coming back to a feeling of being astounded. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And you're like, okay, it is amazing. It is amazing. And it's also normal. But you know what? Normal can be amazing. So we don't have to make such a big deal of it. We don't have to make such a big deal of, they like me. No, they don't like me. Oh, they all like me. Oh, everybody hates me today. When we're steady in our own practice, our own life, our own intention to live for the benefit of others, to do what's beneficial, to not cause harm, when we're steady and grounded in that, all of that stuff is just noise. Even the current political situation is just noise. There are things happening that are not kind, that are harmful. And if we, out of fear, shut down and are not able to be present, then we are not going to help. We don't have to be superheroes. We simply have to show up. And this gives us a way to show up. If you think that your practice is not helping or just an idea, dig in a little more. This is the best way to be of benefit. And it will show you what you need to do in other aspects of your life. Everyone's different. Some people are lawyers and they'll put on their lawyer cape and they'll help people that way through the law. Other people are social workers and they'll listen to people's problems or help them figure out what to do when their loved one is dying. Other people are moms and they'll help their children grow up with kindness, care. Our teachers are people who make things go, the people who build the infrastructure of our lives. Many years ago, someone came to me during sesshin or silent retreat, and they told me, this was many years ago, before AI was a thing, and they said, AI is coming. Whether we want it to be here or not, it's coming. And it's really important that we build AI from the Bodhisattva perspective so that it is imbued with kindness and compassion from the start. And he said, I want to do that. And I was so moved by the Bodhisattva vow manifesting through AI. And I said, that's amazing. And the way that you do that is to manifest the Bodhisattva vow in your own life. And whatever you do will come through that. Whether it's computer programming or teaching children, whatever you do will be manifest through your Bodhisattva vow. The other thing that I read was an article that really called out the folly of thinking that we can be independent from others. In this case, it was through manufacturing. And it went through all the different ways that I believe it was an iPhone they were talking about, or just a phone. There's no one component of an iPhone that comes from any one place. Every single component of it comes from somewhere different. And not just comes from somewhere different, not just the raw materials. One thing is manufactured here, and then it's sent to another country, and then another country. And the metals come from this country, and the plastics come from this country. It's literally a global phenomenon just to be able to use your phone. Impossible to separate it out. There is no one fixed item called an iPhone that exists independently of the entire world. So to think we can go back into an antiquated way of thinking that assumes that I am separate from you, that our country is independent from your country, that we don't need each other, is such a vast mistake. It's literally impossible. And the more we try to shove this idea in, the more impossible it will show itself to be. So will it show itself to be impossible in ways that are beneficial or in ways that are harmful? And creating a war is a way that's harmful. Creating a field of kindness extending out over the whole universe is a way that it's beneficial. We must create this field of benefit. We must. The whole world is dependent on us, on our practice. Don't become complacent. It's possible. Whether somebody despises you or loves you is always going to change. Even those we love the most will die. Even those we hate the most will die. What really matters is how we show up in each moment. Everything open, full of peace, kindness, and benefit. It's very much possible. So I encourage all of us to bring this actively to our lives. When we read the Diamond Sutra, when we study the Diamond Sutra, there are different ways to engage in it. Reading it, reciting it, listening to it, studying it, teaching it to others, and just the way we live our life. When we read the Diamond Sutra, in the middle of all of the not this, but not this, and not this, and the not this, there's a sparkliness that comes up, a mystery. This is what we can offer to the world around us, an embodiment of our practice that inspires others, an embodiment that gives people around us hope, that makes people feel cared for. This is what I encourage you to bring to your life. Thank you.